Before we begin, take a brief moment to slow down. Wherever you are, this audiobook summary is an invitation to pause and reset. In Stop in the Name of God, Charlie Kirk explores why intentional rest, especially honoring the Sabbath, can bring clarity, balance, and renewal to our fast-paced lives. Over the next few minutes, you'll hear the core ideas of the book in a clear and practical way. So take a breath, set aside the rush, and let's begin. So take a breath, let go of the rush for just a moment, and let's begin. Let's start with something familiar. Life feels non-stop. Work bleeds into evenings. Phones buzz during dinner. Rest feels earned, not given, and even then, it feels guilty. In Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life, Charlie Kirk argues that this constant motion isn't just exhausting, it's spiritually and emotionally damaging. His core message is simple but countercultural. God built rest into the rhythm of life for a reason, and when we ignore it, we pay the price. This book is an invitation to stop, not because you're weak, but because you're human. Section 1. The Sabbath is not a suggestion. Kirk begins by reframing the Sabbath. Many people think of it as an outdated religious rule or a rigid tradition. But Kirk says that's a misunderstanding. The Sabbath, he explains, isn't about restriction, it's about protection. It's a boundary God created to guard us against burnout, pride, and the illusion that everything depends on us. Think of it like a weekly reset button. Just as your phone needs to be recharged, your soul does too. Ignoring that need doesn't make you stronger, it just drains the battery faster. God didn't design humans to run endlessly. The Sabbath is a reminder that we are created beings, not machines. Section 2. Why we struggle to stop. If rest is so good for us, why is it so hard to do? Kirk argues that our resistance to rest often comes from deeper issues: control, fear, and identity. We believe that if we stop working, things will fall apart, or worse, we'll lose our sense of worth. In modern culture, busyness has become a badge of honor. Saying, "I'm slammed," sounds more impressive than, "I'm rested." But Kirk challenges that mindset, pointing out that constant busyness can actually be a form of arrogance, acting as if the world can't function without us. The Sabbath forces us to trust. It says, God is in control, even when I stop. Section 3. What the Sabbath really looks like. Kirk is clear that honoring the Sabbath doesn't mean following a checklist of do's and don'ts. It's not about legalism, it's about intention. At its heart, the Sabbath is one day set apart for rest, worship, and joy. It's time to step away from productivity and reconnect with God, with others, and with yourself. That might mean turning off email, sharing a long meal with family, taking a walk, reading scripture, or simply sitting in stillness. The point isn't inactivity, it's renewal. Kirk describes the Sabbath as a weekly reminder of who we are and whose we are. It's not just rest from work, it's rest from striving. Section 4. The Transformational Power of Rest. One of the book's strongest claims is that the Sabbath doesn't just change your schedule, it changes your heart. When practiced consistently, Kirk says, Sabbath rest reshapes your priorities. It slows your thinking. It softens your anxiety. It creates space for gratitude. Over time, you begin to realize that rest is not the reward for finishing everything. It's a gift that allows you to live better in everything else. Kirk also points out that societies and families that honor rest tend to be healthier, more connected, and more grounded. The Sabbath isn't just personal, it's communal. Section 5. A quiet act of resistance. In a culture obsessed with speed, the Sabbath becomes a quiet rebellion. Choosing to stop for one day a week says, "My value is not based on output. My life is not owned by urgency. And God, not my calendar, is the center of my time." Kirk frames Sabbath keeping as an act of faith. It's trusting that God can do more in 6 days than we can do in 7 without Him. Wrap up. The call to stop. Stop, in the name of God, is ultimately a call to remember what we've forgotten, that rest is holy, necessary, and life-giving. Charlie Kirk reminds us that the Sabbath isn't about doing less for God, it's about being with God. And in that stopping, we don't fall behind, we find our balance again. So the next time life feels overwhelming, maybe the most faithful thing you can do isn't to push harder, but to stop. If this summary sparked your curiosity, grab Stop in the Name of God by Charlie Kirk on Amazon. There's a lot more to enjoy inside than we could cover here. And stick around. Every day we bring you a new audiobook-style summary, so you don't spend money on a book before knowing what it's really about. Now go take a break. Seriously, even the narrator needs one.